Greetings and welcome back to Drasir TMD. My name is Drasir and you're watching Space Engineers Survival. That's right, we are getting back into things today after, for me, what has been quite a while, feels like, outside the game. So long, in fact, I've forgotten largely what it was I was going to do with this whole rig. I think I had gotten as far as... Yes, I did. I got as far as mapping out... Ow! No, it's only 3%, but that's still... Ow. Is mapping out... What do you want to call this? The projected image... Blueprint. The blueprint of this here very strange looking thingamadoodle. But what I couldn't figure out is what I'd done wrong with this. One of these is out of sync. It should be back this way one. I can't understand why it's not sitting where it's supposed to. It was also suggested to me in the comments that I don't actually need two projectors, and I think that's true in Essentials. However, I think in order to set up the projection, I do need two to be sitting there? Question mark? This is my problem. I've come back into this after a little bit of time away from Space Engineers. I actually recorded some of the video stuff not too far ahead of time, but far enough that I could take a quick break to work on some other things, not necessarily YouTube related, but just other projects. And now I've completely lost track of, like, I remember I had a very solid plan in mind for how to make this all work and how to get it to sort of fit together. And I think I've got the bare bones essentials, but I'm worried that I've miscalculated something, and that's why the projector is off. So, what I'm going to do first, and this is going to be very boring, so I'll cut out plenty of this maybe, or turn it into a time lapse or something. I'm going to run this machine to see how far from this point everything needs to be, because the projector's going to sit here. There's 1, 2, 3 plus the pistons, and then however long the pistons. Oh, that's right. No, I did work it out. I did work it out because I know exactly how long each one of these pistons will be once they're done. They're going to be 6 long in total, but 2 doesn't count because that's how big the... Okay, I'm already confusing myself by trying to talk it out as well, so I won't keep going on about that since I did that last episode. I think I will figure it out and I'll show you what I've got once I'm done. Okay, so I've got this projected offset by 11 from here, which is what I wanted? Question mark? Oh, see, this is where I'm getting myself confused. Okay, because the projected piece is down here, yes, there's plenty of these blocks to get welded as this thing goes down the line, welding with these things. And unfortunately, I just realized there is no way for me to stop it from adding all of the parts, so it's going to weld up a full set of, what is it, 150 steel plates. So I'm going to burn through plates really fast, but that's okay because I've got lots and lots of iron to spare. So I should keep looking up and seeing all these red signals and wondering, is that something that's coming to get me anytime soon? The way I've got it set up, it shouldn't, but still freaks me out. But what I need is for something else to be projecting the piping that goes along here, so that once this... Oh no, actually that can be done... Oh, I've made an error. Okay, so we're gonna have to make the projection even bigger, extended outwards, because if the projection is here, it will start welding as it goes back. The only issue I can see is that this projector is going to be in the way. Connector. This connector is going to be in the way, and I need to get rid of that before I can actually start anything. Oh man. You know, in all the time I've taken to kind of try and work this all out, I could have probably run this drill several times, enough times for me to make what it is that I want out of this base, which is pretty much, I just wanted a kind of Hoth base, something that's built into a mountain that has, you know, bays off to the sides, not necessarily right there because that's right at the entrance, but bays off to the side that houses some aircraft, and maybe some bays for just ground vehicles. And this is turning into this huge big mess of a project that I definitely think that I was biting off more than I can chew by tackling something as big as this right off the bat, and I still think it can be done. I'm just, every time I try to wrap my head around it, there's so many constituent parts, it boggles my brain. And again, I apologize if I'm repeating myself. I apologize. Yeah, no, I better not do that joke too long because people will want to kill me. But for the time being, I can definitely move this back to where it was, or at least redo the projection with much more track built, or I can just use it as it is right now so that the track can work. I could even set it so that it moves back, but again, it's making it more complicated than it needs to be. This connector though, this connector is going to be the problem. And I wish I could just kind of come up with a solution, but I'm just not able to think of it right now, and rather than have you watch me trying to figure out what I'm doing, I'm just going to go ahead and keep trying and see what happens. To start with, I am going to run this machine just to move it forward out of the way, because I want to test a few things as it is. I already know that these dimensions, I want to check a bit more, so I also want to find out if I will drain all of the steel plate I have trying to build these out as I move forward. We shall soon find out. In fact, heck, you guys may as well watch. So, in the control seat, I've got the drills already set up, drills on. One thing I do need to do, that's go to the control panel. Man, those drills are really loud. I'll have to make sure to turn those down in post if they're too loud. I can barely hear myself talk just with the, because I usually only keep it one ear on just so I can hear myself talk, because you know how much I love listening to my own voice. But it's really loud. Gosh, it's way too distracted there. I want to look at the pistons, drill pistons, and see. Velocity is 0.1, max distance 0.2, that can't be right. Oh, did I? Yes, I did. Okay, so let's look at this one. Piston 1, 0, 0. Oh man, I must have been messing around with these a little bit because this is all messed up. Oh, that's right. So no, don't reverse, but don't be at any particular speed anyway. Either, I should say. So that's... okay, good. Speed 0, maximum distance, that. Velocity... oh, no! Oh my... oh, that's not good. That is not good. That's why you don't mess around with the sliders when you're not paying too much attention. Okay. I'm also super tired, I apologize. That's a lot of shaking. A lot of shaking going on there. But it's moving. And it's welding. At least it was. Did it stop because it's not got anything else to weld? Okay, good. For a second there, I was very concerned that it had already run out of parts. But I will check on that really quick. See how much I have. Let's see. This, I believe, is the... Wow. It already ate through half of my component stock in just a few blocks. But we've got lots and lots of iron, and if this is all going according to plan, the refinery is eating up all the stone. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Okay, good. One thing I've noticed that the connector has a bunch of stone in it. Refinery. Small cargo container is already full. Stone's going into that container in a big way. Oh, do I have any? I don't. I don't have any upgrades on there yet. Oh my goodness, it's been so long, guys. I say it's been so long. It's been long enough for me that I'm completely out of the loop. And oh man, that's a problem. I just realized that those pieces there that were supposed to be at the back over here are now being built. I don't need those at all. Okay. Alrighty. When it moves out from where it is, I will break those down so that I've got more steel to work with, but also so this doesn't catch. Is it actually going to catch? Is it high enough? I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, see, this is supposed to be back here, so that this stuff all gets built once this thing starts moving backwards. It does mean that there's already a projector down there, but that's actually not going to help at all. I don't want that to be there. I'm going to see if I can take it away. I can take it away. Okay, so realistically, guys, what my original intention was I hated the idea of having to be underneath that drill thing, trying to add more blocks as it moved forward for these wheels to move on. That's really all I need. Everything else is just gravy. I think I went from, oh, we can do this to make so that the wheels can move forward and I won't have to do that while it's drilling, to we could fully automate it, so it'll just keep going and it'll disconnect all by itself and it'll move backwards. It'll weld up this other stuff as it goes. And it got to a point where the idea sounded great, but I don't know that I have the cognitive capacity for this. That's a fact. I'm just throwing that out there. I know my limits, and I'm not one who is possessed of great brain power. So actually, you know what I could do? Oh, inventory full. Okay, let me go ahead and... Ooh, I can do this now. Ah, no, not the pause button. Oh my gosh, I need the power of flight. Okay, I can Alt, middle mouse button. Whoops. All possible components were deposited. That is a brand new feature of the update that happened in between when I was last recording and today. So yeah, the new update came out. There's a couple of new things that came out. One of which was just a style pack, I think it was called, for those that like additional stuff, which I have not purchased yet, I must admit. I'm not sure if I will at the moment. Distracted. What we should do is I will just manually work on this for now and get it to build in as far as I want it to, and honestly I don't know how far I need to, Because this entryway here, that's going to remain solid stone. This section here is probably going to be the beginning of the first bay. I need a couple of areas for bays, and then I'm going to be adding the actual infrastructure, because this is not where this stuff is staying. Eventually all the refineries and the storage and everything will go into its own space. What I could even do, actually, let me see, where does the... ow! Again! Of course I can't see at night. So on this side is the one that's closest to the lake, and is the least likely to have enough room to build into. So I could probably put the infrastructure on that side, just because I know it's not going to go very far in. The various vehicles that I can fit in here and everything can come in and go on the right. That way I can expand those back a bit if I need to, and I won't have to go very far in for the production stuff. I am seriously concerned that these three are not going to be able to keep up with the stone. Let's see how much stone we actually have on hand. Stone on hand, connector full, refineries refining, survival kit full, refineries refining, a cargo. Oh my goodness, that cargo is almost filled. The drills are not filled yet, so that's a good sign. There's one more large container. El Cargo. Oh, that one is filling up. Okay. Okay, so this one's kind of reached the limit, but the refineries are still pulling from that. This one is refilling every time this one gets too full, and we've still got a full large cargo's worth to go, and it looks like we're actually doing pretty well, although that's just the one that was already pushed out a little bit. Yeah, that's not even halfway. But that's the reason I have this on wheels, so it doesn't bend and flex as the drills get heavy. And where would it go anyway, because it's dragging along this center line right here. Oh man. I think we don't have to worry too much, to be honest, guys. I think it's not a big deal. So I'm going to let this run. I'm going to stop blabbing. Alright, so the pistons are at full extension. Man, it seems like every time I start talking the game saves, which is just fine. Oh. Well, what do you know? The iron is actually very close. It's 160 meters. I thought it was like... Where's the marker that I had there? Did it disappear? No. There's one. There's two. Oops. Iron, yeah. Oh, the iron's actually closer than I thought. So, yeah, I guess I can just keep going and start drilling upwards to get to the first bits of iron. Cool. Okay, sorry. So, yes, these are fully extended. The drills have gotten just about as much as they're going to get. I think we're now completely full to capacity on our stone. Yeah. Oh my, yes. Okay, so I will let that keep running. I will let the refineries refine, and I will let the... Except that they won't be able to refine very much. Let's see if that's even a thing. Oh. Yeah. Oh man. Okay. So we've got a bit of a problem. Drills are still drilling, but yeah, we've come to a standstill because I've literally clogged up this system. Somebody fetch me the Drano. That's okay. Since this is all temporary anyway, let's go ahead and add another large cargo container. We're going to do the old place one of these in the middle trick, and this will just provide a temporary storage. There we we go. I know we've got all the components for that. Oh, except for possibly the... Yes! Oh, dang it! I forgot about the metal grids. Cobalt! What did I say just a minute ago? It was like something like, don't fly at night. And didn't I die at one point in doing this? Fairly certain I did. So I'm going to drop... Oh man. Oh, I can just reach it. Some cobalt right into here. Yes! Yes! Delicious cobalt! Delicious, precious cobalt! So while that's doing that, this thing, I'm going to need to tell it to, instead of... What is going on here? That was strange. No. The first thing I want you to do is metal grids. Yes! Metal grids! Yes, it's doing exactly what I wanted it to! Fantastic! And so as those get made, they're going to get put into this storage container, which I just realized now, after all that, I don't need because it's already unclogged, so... Oh well, now we have extra storage. Yeah, so new day, new brain, hopefully, after waking up and getting some decent rest. Cup of tea to fuel the fire. London, baby! So I am going to show you what happened, and this is why I was getting so confused. When I set this projector up, I set it up and I had another projector at the end that's actually one block more than what it should be. This is effectively that projector, just a double, which has its own projection, so that it will project a new projection of a projection of a projection over time as it gets welded up. That was the whole point, that was the plan. The issue I was having, and I just realized that it actually blueprinted that as well. Hopefully that won't be made, but if it is, I can just break it down as it goes, and I will fix that at a later point. Right now, I'm just happy that it's kind of working out how I want. So, how many blocks is in between this? It should be 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And on the 11th is the projector. Same thing again. This is counting with Drasier. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. On the 11th block is the projector. That's exactly what we want, and that's exactly what I wanted. I think what had happened was I had created a projection, a blueprint, with the block one back, and then changed the actual frame, and forgot to remap, to reproject, to reblueprint this thing. The rig is what I'm calling it, the rig. So that's now working. I've got this all set up. It's working exactly as I want. It's got this one projecting the thing it's supposed to, which is going to be this. This one is then going to be projecting the next one along, which is perfect. Now I'm starting to see what... and I forget the name. I'm so sorry. No, okay, no, it's not that I remember the name. It's somebody, and forgive me, who has Cyrillic characters? Cyrillic characters in their name, and I'm afraid I don't know how to pronounce them, so I apologize for that. I will research it and find out how. Don't spoil it for me. Let me try and figure it out for myself. Who suggested that I might not need a second projector. And so that's possibly true. I'm going to try it with the two just for the overkill's sake, and I will streamline things as I go. It's how I tend to do things. I do things too complicated to begin with. Oh no, I gotta stop because I'm talking and I'm trying to do two things at once. I need to blueprint this first. So I'm going to blueprint this and go set it up on the projector inside. I'll be right with you. Alright, so I'm in the projector system. I'm looking for, this is the original one. This is just the rig without the projectors projecting anything. This is the one that has the projectors projecting stuff. I think once I have all my ducks in a row, I might do a kind of a tutorial for this, because I know some people know how to do it and are just fine with it. But I'm struggling, I really am, and so I think it'd be really fun to do something like that to kind of explain these things. That's going to be a side project though, so I don't know when that's going to get done. It's just going to be one of those things that's in the back of my mind, maybe for later. But also, a lot of people have got tutorial stuff covered, so maybe I don't need to. I don't know, we'll figure it out as I go. Copy to clipboard. And of course it's not lined up properly. However, wow, actually it's just one off. It's actually in the right position this time. That's weird. Maybe it does have something to do with the way I copied it, the orientation or whatever. So all I have to do, it looks like, is move it down. Projector. Vertical offset. Now is it -1 because it's going down? No, that doesn't seem to have... That's 0, that's where it was. Aha, there we go. Okay. Keep projection. Oh wait, did it just lose it because I had everything set up? Let's have a look. No, it didn't. Okay, and let's double check this. Counting with Drasier. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and on the 11th is the projection. So what's going to happen if I have done this all correctly? You can't see the projection because there's blocks in the way. Hopefully this one won't get... Oh, it won't be able to because it's intersecting with the thing, so that's fine. But again, I'll clean that up later and get rid of that because we don't need that anymore. What I'm going to do is... I'm going to test this by disconnecting the merge block, disconnecting the connector. Oh, but first I want to make sure this is actually in place, so let's go ahead and do that now before I forget. So, maximum distance, yes, reverse, 0.5. It's already in place, it's ready to lock. So, locking gear. And this is just things I've named it. You can name it whatever you want, obviously. Usually it's landing gear, so if you're having trouble finding it, it's supposed to be landing gear, but I've called it locking gear just to separate it from other landing gears. Lock. Okay, so this frame is now locked in place. The drills are not drilling. What we want to happen next is for this merge block and this connector to disconnect, and that should separate this all from here. Oh, but before we do that, we need to make sure that in this container there is enough materials to build 1, 2, 3 of those, a conveyor, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18... Perhaps not that many, but let's just go ahead and put 20's worth in there because that's a nice easy round number to do. 20 of these conveyor pipes, so that when this starts moving backwards, and it'll have to be slowly, which is fine actually because that means I can leave it at the speed it was drilling at and not have to change that back and forth. It'll be slow, but I'd rather it was that and then it got done than not and ended up half baked. Okay, and it will weld those as it goes back all the way to this point here, and then it'll stop. And then when this one gets welded up, it will have projected everything it needs here to build this again. Yes. Oh, except the merge block. Did I actually include the merge block? Oh, whoa, gosh. Did I turn this off? I did, it's not red. Phew! Oh my gosh! Yes, okay, so it already has the merge block there. We just don't want it to build this stuff. But if it only goes back a certain distance, it won't. And we can do that by having it be pretty much where it was, by having the lower limit of this piston be 2 when it reverses. Yes, minimum distance 2 because that's how far it was before. Yes, okay, we're cooking with gas. We are setting fire to the building. Probably not a good idea, but that's what we're doing. Okay, so also while I've been working, oh, the refinery's apparently finished. That's actually pretty good. they weren't able to keep up with the drilling speed that I was doing, so if I wanted to keep drilling like this I would probably have to add more refineries. I would go ahead and just double it, to be honest, have 6 of these things. But what I want to do, and I'll do this while the thing is drilling next time, is I will go ahead and start building into this section right here. Probably about the same amount of space as this has been left right here into the wall here. And I'll probably do that by hand, or at least, you know, start off by hand. Put the refineries in there, and then connect the rest up here. I could actually close those doors as soon as I get them finished, and we'll have an actual functional base. But for right now, let's go ahead and get this rolling. So that's locked, that's ready to go. These two need to be disconnected. Can I do it from here? Merge block. I don't know which one is which. Let's just turn one off and hope for the best. Okay, so that's that one. Merge block. Interesting. Why does it say that that's a different grid, even though that's the one I turned off? Checking to make sure I'm recording, because I have done that once before where I was not recording. I think it happens to every YouTuber eventually. I would just hate for one day to be like recording for an hour, look around and be like, no! But, you know. Okay, is that one? Oh, I'm an idiot. I don't know what I was thinking. So, merge block is off. We're going to call that merge block drill side. Oops, side. Merge block drill side. And the other merge block doesn't matter because it's going to be rebuilt every time I do it. So that one's going to be the same. Oh, and the connector. Connector. So that's this one. Connector. Drill side, and we want to unlock it. Oh gosh, yep, so that unlocked. Now when these pistons pull back, they're going to be fighting against this force here, so I might have to have it where the connector simply switches off. We'll see how that works out. Now if everything's gone correct, oh, I didn't actually store up the items I need in there. Oh, and I can't because I just unlocked it. Ugh. This is why I have to walk through everything, because... lock. Okay, good. So that's still locked. It's still drawing power from the rest of the base as well when it needs to. It's not essential right now. So we want to move all those parts. I'm going to go calculate how many parts it is that we need, and I'm going to move them over there. And so it's going to be a few different things. It's going to be parts for some steel blocks that are going to be acting as oh, and the projector as well, of course. So yeah, I'll calculate the parts and I'll be right back. Actually, this will be a perfect opportunity to test out the build planner, which I have not really gotten very used to just yet. Okay, so I don't honestly know what I'm doing. That is obvious. I'm a doofus. You're supposed to press G to get to here, and you find this blue planner. Build planner, blue planner. I don't know what I said, blue planner. Build planner to set up these blocks. And so what I wanted to do was set up a bunch of these connectors. Is there a way to just... There is. Okay, so if you just click the middle mouse button, it just sets them right up there. You don't have to drag and drop. That's pretty cool. Kudos to Jack RPG, who is the video I went to find out how to use this. It's just a simple thing. I didn't know you had to press G to get in there. It's just because I was ignorant. And so let's go ahead and set up the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Ah. You can only do that many at one time. Okay, this is Also not quite what I was hoping for. I was hoping it would give me a rundown of all the pieces I need, but that's okay. I can still use this to calculate pretty easily using Excel. It's going to be slightly more problematic, but I'll just set up my little laptop here that has Excel on it, and I will go ahead and figure all that out. But I won't make you watch that. You couldn't anyway because I can't record the laptop at the same time, and I wouldn't do that to you. See you in a moment. Okay, so let's say for example that we want 25 of those conveyor junctions that I've got sitting right here. That's 25 times all of these numbers, which comes to 150, 300, 500, and 350. Sorry, can't even read even with these graphs. Cannot read, cannot speak, cannot see, cannot hear. I'm just useless, everyone. I'm so sorry. All right, that gives me a start, and I can figure out the rest as I go. Now, what I need to do, actually, what I should have done in the first place. This is idiocy on my part. I should have just done this because I've already got a system in place for this. Small cargo. Let's rename those to S cargo, just like the French delicacy. Let's rename this to components. Copy. Paste. Let's see. What else do we have? Do we have anything? So those are ingots. Okay. So what I was hoping to happen, and it doesn't seem to be happening, is that the system would spread equally a number of components into these two cargo containers. That way they would just have their own inventory, but maybe it only does it when it's of a certain size. Where's my programming blocks? Here they are. Izzy's auto crafting. This must be the Izzy's block. It is. So let's edit this and see if we can find out what the problem is. Aha! Balance items between containers of same type. Excellent. That's actually what we do want in this case. So let's go ahead and do that. True. Okay. It's rebalanced. Okay, now if we move over here, of course I could have just done this from any other terminal. Yes! I think we can go ahead and just do this even while this thing is making what it's making. So let's do that. Let's go ahead and turn this on. Okay, good. Switch this one on. Okay, let's double check that we've got everything we need in these cargo containers. Yeah, we already did that. Double everything because we've got two of those, one on each side. Careful not to intersect with that and get burned. So let's turn off the connector. Drill side connector. Sorry, not turn it off. Actually, excuse me, yes, let's turn it off. Okay, and then what we're going to do is we're going to reverse, and it'll happen very slowly, the pistons. So, 2. Are they moving? I can't tell. Yes, they are moving, but that is very, very slow. Yeah, I could effectively double that speed and I think it would be just fine. Let's do that. So the pistons, driller pistons, are currently moving at a velocity of 0.001. Let's try minus 0.05. See what happens. Well, it's much faster, or faster than it was. Okay, that actually works. Very nice. Very nice. Oh, it's coming together. It's working. So this is a decent proof of concept, if nothing else. And then, once it works, it will be fairly simple, he says, to automate it, because it's literally walking through a list of what steps you need to take to make things work. Setting up the programming blocks to tell the pistons, for instance, to be set to different speeds. That can be achieved with some simple okay, so that's now on, it's projecting like it should. And then it will build those. The question is, will it stop where I want it to? Because if it goes too far, and it won't matter if it does because I can always change things around, if it goes too far, it's going to build the next section along, which is more of the part that it's not supposed to until later on. I'll kind of show you what I mean when it gets there. It stopped where it meant to. It's meant to, I should say. Yes. Okay, because now it's going to oh, the only thing it's doing. Oh gosh, how did I not die then? How did I not die just then? Let's see what happens if we move back just a smidge more. Minimum distance 1.5. Because if it just builds the connector, oh man, that is genuine, unbridled joy. That is just love it. Okay, that worked. It's not building those two, which is great, because if it did, we'd have a problem. Let's turn those welders off. I think they're controllable from here. Oh no, that's not those. Okay, so I'll have to have two sets of welders on the control bar for now. Then let's just go ahead and switch those off. And again, this is what will happen all in sequence when it works out. Off. Then it will go backwards. Oh, it's going to have to... This is going to be a pain. Well, the thing is, if it's moving continuously... See, I don't want it to do everything automatically. I would rather do it in cycles. Alright, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and redo the blueprint that's out there. Come back and reset that up on the projector it needs to be projected onto, which in this case is going to be this one now. This is the new prime projector. These ones can be broken down or changed or whatever, but for right now it's not a huge deal. Oh, can't fly. Need to go refuel. So that's now projecting the projection of the projection. All I have to do is remove that once more, copy this, and that will be the final projection. I hope. Okay. Yes! Yes! And it's just going to be projecting itself, which will project itself, which will project itself, which will project itself. Okay. I have not done a very good job of explaining my steps. I have not done it in a very efficient fashion, but it is set up and ready to go. So all I have to do now is set a number of control systems. Let's see, I might put that on this side over here out of the way. That will make the whole thing tick. Timers and all that good stuff to control the merge block, programmable blocks to tell the pistons to speed up or slow down at any particular point that it's supposed to. Okay, I think we're getting there. I think we've got something. Okay, so progress was made, much more than I expected. I fully expected not to be able to get anything done on this thing today, or this episode, I suppose. But yeah, it's looking good. It's looking good. I'm feeling much better about this than I was. However, I'm going to go ahead and leave it here for today as I'm running out of time. I may continue to do this on my own time, record some and see if it makes another episode, but otherwise, well, new episode on Sunday as usual. Before I go though, I did find out how to pronounce that name, I think. So apologies if I'm doing this wrong, but I'm reading off a kind of a pronunciation key. Vladislav Piskarev. I apologize if I'm butchering your name, but you were the one who suggested about using one projector, and I think I know how that can be done. I'll have to kind of test it out, but I'll figure it out. If not, this works. But you're the one who suggested that, so I just wanted to make sure I actually tried to pronounce your name, because I feel bad about not being able to name people. Speaking of naming people, there's a ton of people suddenly subscribed to the channel recently, and I know that it's mostly, if not entirely, thanks to the fact that I actually had a chance to do that joint visit, I should say, a visit to Robin Shield's world, which was a lot of fun. So that's really cool that some of you guys decided to take a chance on Drasir and see what he's got going on, and this is what I got going on. If you haven't already, maybe go ahead and check out the Discord server I've just got set up. There's not a whole lot going on it right now. It's brand new, so there's not a lot of people there, and I haven't got everything set up, but you know, feel free to drop by. The link will be in the description. Again, thank you all for your comments and subscriptions and all that good stuff. It's really very, very kind of you to support me in what to me feels like a lot of flailing around and not doing a whole lot at all. But it's still fun. I still enjoy doing this, and it's kind of amusing to talk my way through it as I go, and to show people what I did. So I'm enjoying it, and I hope you guys are too still. If you have any suggestions or anything, feel free to drop them in the comments if people have already done. Hit like if you enjoyed the episode. Go ahead and subscribe if you haven't, or let somebody else know who hasn't subscribed that maybe they should consider doing that, to get notified when new content is dropped. You all have a good one, and I'll see you on the other side.